on, everybody? Welcome back into another episode of NA Now. Brandon Hofstra joined here with head coach of the Austin Bruins, Steve Howard. Steve, first off, thanks for taking some time out of your day to do this. You got the gear on. Were you just on the ice?
No, I just it's cold in the rink, so I throw these sweaters and hoodies on all the time.
Of
Yeah,
course, got to represent.
yeah.
Let's dive into last season. You guys finished off the year 31-25, 3-1, finished fourth in the division, taking that final playoff spot. But what did you take away from last year?
Last year was a good year. I think our playoffs started with about 20 games left. It came down to I think three teams all biting for two spots. It was us, Aberdeen, and St. Cloud really fighting it out there towards the end. Um, we ended up clinching that spot the very last weekend, and I think our guys just, honestly, we ran out of gas.
Right.
And you spent so much energy trying to make the playoffs that you just didn't have anything left. And hats off to Minot. They played really well that series and
Yeah.
knocked us out. It was kind of fitting because I'm sure they wanted some revenge from the year before.
Right, 100%. Last season as well, the Bruins had 12 NCAA commitments, 10 of those guys going Division One. How great is it just year in and year out to be a part of these young men's advancement to the next level?
Oh, that's awesome. It's the best part of the job. It really is. When you get a call from a player that's gotten an offer. Obviously we usually know what's going to happen, but it's pretty fun for us because that's our job. We're trying to advance these guys, and our league does a really good job of actually getting the commitments for the kids, and most of those we actually handled or helped handle, and talking to the coaches, lining the kids up, going on visits, and all that good stuff. I think that's what makes our league so great is we get a lot of kids committed. It's not like a lot of them. I mean, there's quite a few that come into our league already committed, but with the coaches that are in the league and obviously the resources we have and the connections we have, we usually try to line everything up and we have our hands in it.
Right. There's been some great players in and out of those doors. Goalie especially comes to mind. Last year's Mike Richter Award winner of Kyle McClellan, an NAHL alumni. Another cool thing to see of these guys continuing to progress and advance and gain exposure now playing in the AHL next year. But did you see anything special from him back when he was in Austin?
Yeah, no, he was a great goalie. Al Rooney was my associate head coach my first year, and I remember going to our showcase, and he was in the back ring scouting, and he came running up. He was like, "I got our goalie for next year," and so he ended up signing Kyle to a tender and tracked him all year, and then yeah, he had an outstanding year with us, and obviously went on to the USHL and then Mercyhurst, and then transferred to Wisconsin. So we're
Yeah.
proud of him. Actually, our goalie that we have in now is from the same area and has the same goalie coach. So
Right
pretty
on.
excited about him. Yeah,
Yeah, St. Louis strong over there. Let's
yeah.
talk about the Central Division. Things are going to get shaken up a little bit. Two more opponents will enter this upcoming season with Watertown and the Minnesota Mallards. How fun and exciting is that going to be? Kind of having some new guys to take on and maybe a little closer travel too.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. Obviously, only having six teams in our division. I think the entire time I've been here, you play the same guys a lot,
Yeah.
and it'd be nice to go to a couple different spots. I think it'd be great for our fans too. But as coaches, you get to know each other pretty well when you're playing each other 10 times or 12 times, whatever it
Mhm.
is. And now we'll have a couple more guys you got to pre-scout. They'll have it'll bring probably some different systems to the division and things like that. And it'll change things up. It'll be a good change.
Steve, you're entering your eighth season coaching in the NAHL. What keeps you coming back year in and year out?
Austin, the town is great. We have a great fan base here. My wife and I love it here. But more importantly, know, the league, the owner, all that stuff has been really, really great for myself and taking care of us and just feel welcome here. I've always heard the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and I think that's true. You get into a good spot, you find your niche. It makes things a little easier. We just, talked about moving kids on to college. I think once you get a few of them that do well at a college, they're going to want to call you and they're going to trust you and they're going to take more of your players. And I think that's something that we want to keep building on. And if we keep advancing kids and doing our job, it's the reason why I keep coming back. We had a great new owner. He took over last year. I loved our old owners too, or former owners, but Brian Radines has been awesome to work for last year, and that's another big reason.
Yeah. You spoke a little bit about the city of Austin, Minnesota. It's a smaller town for folks who haven't been there, but a town that just absolutely eats up this hockey team. What do you think players enjoy most about that community and maybe even coming back to just reach out to everybody and see some familiar faces?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's a town of 26,000 people, yet a Fortune 500 company here, Hormel International.
Mhm.
So to have a Fortune 500 company in a small town like that, it's pretty cool. We're the only thing in town, and when I say that, like the movie theater closed back when COVID hit,
Oh, wow.
so there's not even a movie theater here.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about playing in Austin is we're in southern Minnesota and we're only like 10 miles from the Iowa border.
Mhm.
So we are just close enough, but just far enough away from everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like our guys, like some of the billets have season tickets to the Wild games and things like that. So they're able to go up and watch a game or whatever, their billet family, and still be back by curfew. And we have Rochester, Minnesota, which is only 100. Well, it's about 150,000 people, but it's still a
Yeah.
pretty big city. So that's about 30 to 45 minutes away. So if the guys need to go to the mall, you got to go shopping, you need to tie, like things like that. It's once again just close enough, but we're just far enough away from everything that these guys are rock stars here, which is
Yeah.
great. I think that's one of the benefits of playing junior hockey. You kind of make the guys want to be treated like pros, and they are here.
Right. Yeah. Love that. Steve, you played in the NAHL, the NCAA, played pro hockey as well. Having those things firsthand, that experience, how does that translate into coaching for so long and kind of knowing what it's like to be in that spot and then having kids now in your own skates, if you will?
Yeah, no, I mean it's fun to watch these guys develop. I try to not talk about my past too much anymore. It used to be pretty cool to hear for those guys probably to hear, but nowadays, 25, 26 years ago is a long time for them, and they're like, geez, I wasn't even born yet. So no, but it's just the fact that, and I know we covered this at the head coaches meetings, but to watch the league develop and then see what it was back then, and just pretty much primarily in one state, and now we're all the way across the country.
Right.
And so to watch that, to see where the kids are coming from nowadays, and just to get them in here and watch them develop, it's been fun. The hockey has obviously improved immensely since when I was playing,
Right.
and it's a different style, and to see the game evolve and the systems evolve and how you teach it, how you coach it, how you practice and all that stuff. It's been a fun thing, and just getting to know like today's hockey player, today's kid. What are we looking for? There's so many different elements in finding the right team and
Yeah.
the right locker room. And I think these players these days, you gotta look at everything. It's not just how skilled they are. It's more about their personality and how they take criticism. And there's a lot of things that this league has done really well. And if we continue to find those players that can move on and play college hockey and hopefully in the pro ranks, then we're doing our job.
Yeah. 100%. 50th season is upon us, if you can believe that or not. The NHL celebrating its golden birthday. What's the first thing you think of when you hear 50 whole years of the NHL? Maybe some special players, some moments, coaches, what have you?
Yeah, honestly, I just go back to like I can't believe it's so like it's been 50 years and it's so big,
Right.
as you guys have been posting some of the teams, and I was just like, gosh, I didn't even know that was a team, or I haven't heard that name in a long time. I had a lot of buddies and friends that were older that were playing on some of those teams, and you just forget they were part of the NAHL back
Yeah.
then. But yeah, it's, like I think you guys just did a story about the Lakeland Jets,
Yep.
and then I was talking to Scotty Mickish is our director of player personnel, and he was a coach down there for a bit, and it was just, it was like, geez, Waterford's maybe 30 minutes from where I grew up. So
Okay.
to hear those stories about places like that, and teams that were around back then, and all the great teams like CompuWare and Springfield
Hmm.
and the Texas Tornado, like, there's some major teams, and back then, like, they were powerhouses. I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't the same game back then, but the guys that were coaching those teams did a great job, and they moved a lot of guys on back then as well. But
We'll have to get a
yeah,
we'll have to get a picture of you with them laced up back in your NA days to post for a 50 and 50.
I actually have some. My grandmother had one with me, and we were playing at CompuWare's arena, and I can't remember if it was. I think it was just a normal game, but yeah, I have one with. I got the black blades on, and
Yeah.
man, when I was younger, I really looked. I'm half Asian, and I really looked Korean back then. When I looked at it, I was like, wow, that's hard to believe that was me, just baby face. But
Yep.
yeah, I'm in my Gaylord Grizzlies uniform, got the ugly black blades on, and
Yeah.
yeah, huge half shield that comes all the way down to the bottom of my cheeks.
Yep.
But I'll send that over to you. It's
Love
pretty
it.
funny.
Perfect.
Yeah.
One more for you before we let you go. The showcase kicks off here quickly, just a couple months away, a month and a half. It's always got to be great for you guys seeing old players that are maybe coaches now in the league or even at the NCAA level. But it's just a great moment for everybody to come together, watch some great hockey and a great event. But how fun and how special is that for you?
Oh, we love it. I mean, obviously, it's how we kick off our season, really. All the college coaches and scouts that come there, they're just trying to get a feel for what they're going to be watching all year,
Mhm.
right? And I always tell our guys, like, we need to show well up there, because if you show well, they'll keep coming back, they'll keep tracking you,
Yep.
and hopefully that's how you get those college visits and start that relationship or connection with that school. So it's so much fun to get up there, and when you got 35 teams playing in four rinks, and then you also have the NAPHL stuff going on in the back.
Yep.
It's a whirlwind of a week, but we get to do the same thing as the colleges are doing with us. We go back and we start scouting the NAPHL. Who are we going to track this year? Who's got good teams?
Mhm.
So it's kind of like, from top to bottom, it's just a big weekend,
Yeah.
and we're excited to be a part of it. And we can't wait to get up there.
We're excited as well. Excited to see you in person in September. And thanks again for doing this. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.